Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Real Estate SEO. My name is Josh Guerra, and today we're going to be talking about 301 redirects. And basically what these redirects do as far as helping your website and rerouting traffic. So really think of a 301 redirect as a line of code or a script that we'll get to in a little bit that basically tells web browsers and search engines to redirect traffic to another web page. So it's actually extremely useful when it comes to usability on your website, providing a more optimal experience, and then really you're going to get a lot of SEO value out of it because it really remedies some issues that a lot of webmasters and a lot of SEOs like yourself will encounter almost on a daily basis. So let's take a look at some of the whys behind doing 301 redirects. So probably the first two we'll group them together. So like errors, like server errors, right? Like there's two types of errors. You have 404 errors, which are typically like kind of a human error, right? Like I may actually create a dead page by accident on my website, and I may have accidentally deleted it and I don't even know it. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's been gone for so long. I don't have a backup of it. Well, let me 301 redirect that dead page to another page that exists as similar content. Or I'm going to try to rewrite that page and recreate that page. Let me actually reroute that traffic. The other one that happens a lot that you'll find also is 500 errors or server errors. These happen. These are sometimes out of your control. Sometimes you have conflicting scripts in your code that may actually inadvertently create 500 errors, and you just want to redirect that traffic, right? So these are two common errors that you'll find. You'll actually find these a lot inside of Google Search Console. If you find these inside of Google Search Console, now you have a tool to be able to fix those and reroute that traffic. The next one to talk about is content/keyword cannibalism. Now, this is one I see all of the time. I see this a lot when people create a ton of content on their website, and they're like, sometimes they forget like, oh crap, I already wrote a piece of content about that particular keyword, right? And now all of a sudden you have two pieces of content on the web that are targeting the same keyword. And what happens is it confuses search engines, right? It confuses them, and they don't know which page is the primary and which one should rank higher than the other. And they compete against each other. So it cannibalizes the value that the attention you want to give to a specific web page. So a 301 redirect will allow you to redirect the lesser of the two into the primary. And I think that is probably a good route to go. Again, sometimes this type of stuff, you may want to do a little bit deeper dive, but that's just kind of a good rule of thumb. There's another video that we have on the YouTube channel, and there's also, if you go to the blog on realestateseo.com, there is an entire article that is written about keyword cannibalism that I think you'll really like if you kind of encounter this common error. The next one is low quality pages. Sometimes you'll have irrelevant or low quality pages that really are not serving the user purpose, and you're like, I should delete these and just get rid of them and reroute that traffic. So I see it a lot where accidentally you create a page, or there's a page on the web that, maybe has 2 lines of content. And you're like, this is crap. Let me redirect this into, a more meaningful page, a more meaningful experience overall. That's where a 301 redirect could come in. Another one, which we'll kind of explain in a few slides, these next two, forcing a www onto the domain name or a non-www. You can actually specify this inside of Google Search Console, but you want to specify it because you don't want to have duplicate content on the web. If you don't do this, what actually happens is you'll have a website, technically, quote unquote, for the www.domain.com version and the non-www domain.com version of your website. So you want to be able to specify that because technically it'll create 2 versions of the same website creating duplicate content. So make sure you actually specify, utilizing a 301 redirect, which one is the one you want to show. And kind of on that topic, HTTPS is a big thing right now. Google has been more transparent about this in almost any update when it comes to security, because they want to secure the web, and they want to reward webmasters and SEOs alike with higher positioning if they implement HTTPS, which is essentially securing the site through what's called an SSL certificate. I know that's technical for some of you out there. There are videos that I've made in the past. There are also articles on our blog if you want to learn more. But you always want to specify HTTPS in the web browser no matter what. This is a great way to force that. And then also too, like some of you, if you've seen my video on choosing the right domain name, some of you are now starting to acquire domain names. I've probably spent a couple $100,000 over the years on domains, no joke. And they help because it's branding, and they help because it really sets the tone for the brand, right? Some of you are starting to acquire these domains, and that's wonderful. And you may have like an old domain name, old URL now, right? And you got to 3-1 redirect the old domain into the new one. Or sometimes you may want to map out some pages and independently redirect those. And you may not have a domain registrar that you can just simply forward your domain. So this is a great way to implement a more manual process, but doing like a domain-wide 3-1 redirect to a new one. So that's kind of the last one. A little bit more rare to do it on a manual basis, but I see it occasionally. So it's like, okay, Josh, sounds great. How do I implement a 3-1 redirect leveraging what's called a .htaccess file? Okay, so what is a .htaccess file? It intimidates some, right? It's an intimidating technical word, but honestly, it's so easy to do. All you really do is you create a notepad file and rename it .htaccess and put some line of code in there that specify certain things on the website, and tell web browsers and search engines that, don't go to this URL anymore, go to this URL. And that's all it is. Don't be intimidated by the naming convention or the technical jargon. Just know it's very easy to do. And it's really just a notepad file that you rename. And then you take that notepad file and you upload it to the root of your server. And if you don't know what that is, most of the time server companies have like knowledge base, and they'll show you like how to upload a file to the root. And you can upload it through something that's called FTP. So in case you're wondering what that is. This is kind of what this looks like in code. So the first one I want to show is like specifying and forcing www onto a domain, and is basically specifying that this is what I want to showcase for all of my pages across the entire domain name itself. So all of my pages that, technically also are domain.com, I want to force the www onto that domain. So it's technically like a rewrite, but I also see it as a 3-1 redirect. And this line of code will kind of explain that, right? So the rewrite's on. Here's my condition. Anything non-www gets rerouted and redirected to www version. And then I would also specify the HTTPS on here while you're at it. I forgot to add that here. So that's how you can do that. The next one is really like the old URL to the new URL. So basically, you're going to redirect via 3-1 redirect the old URL to the new one. This is a line of code that would show you how to do that inside the .htaccess. So very, very easy to do. Only a few lines of code. So for anybody that's out there that has built, a site like on WordPress, or something like a CMS along those lines, maybe even Drupal, and you're like wondering how you do this, this is how you would implement that style of code if it's not already done already for you. Typically it is. And then really the last thing I want to end with on this video are some quick tips on 3-1 redirects. So really the first one that I want to talk about is just testing it. I see it a lot. People just drop in a line of code and they're gone. A lot of you are like, I don't even want to look at this thing again. Just test it. Just simply test it to make sure it works. A lot of times people don't do this. I don't know why. Really the next thing, which is actually very important, is to go through the website, search the entire website, maybe go in the back end of the admin, search for this URL inside of all of your pages, but see if any of your other subpages are linking to the old web page that was actually specified to be redirected. So what you want to do here is remove the old URL and actually drop in and replace the new URL that you're redirecting to. And really the last one is just make sure that old URL is no longer represented in your sitemap on the website. You don't want that. So really that's about it. You know, I wanted to keep this video pretty short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's informational about 301 redirects. It's nothing exciting, but it does help tremendously when it comes to SEO. And really hope to see you in the next video of Real Estate SEO. And until next time, y'all take care. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.